You want to go for a hike? Hi and welcome back. We are checking in at Wild River State Park, kind of our first local trip of the year. If you've been watching our videos, you know we're kind of on a mission to visit or camp at all of Minnesota state parks. I gotta check the map, but I think this is like number 24, 25, about 40 minutes north and east of Minneapolis, right on the St. Croix River, Wisconsin border. Kind of a rainy day to check in, but the rest of the weekend should be pretty nice. Just a little 2-night getaway. Kids are staying at home, just the wife and I, and Audrey the RV dog. So we're just filling up our potable tank here at the ranger station. I'll show you another little gadget I just bought. Kind of a total fun thing, not necessary whatsoever, but this is a rain wave water flow meter. Basically, you put this on the faucet or the hose and it measures the amount of water going through your hose. Just thought it'd be kind of handy to have as you fill up the tank to see exactly where you're at. I mean, you can just let it go and just wait till it overflows, or you can go in and check the sensor, the tank light sensors too, but I don't know, thought it'd be kind of fun just to see how it goes. I'm actually timing it too to see how long it takes to fill up our 52-gallon tank. We're 4 minutes in and about 10 gallons, so not too bad. But that's my latest fun little gadget. Now to give you a tour of our campsite, this is site number 67. First thing I want to mention about this site, it can be a little tricky to get into. The roads aren't that wide and you got 2 big trees here that kind of prevent you from doing a lot of extra swing with your truck to get the right angle. And then you got a couple trees when you get into the campsite too you got to deal with. We're a 29-foot trailer, you know, totally doable. It just took a couple little extra steps to get it right. But otherwise, the site, you know, it's plenty long, plenty of room. All these sites here are really nice. And, you know, once again, it's April. It's not the prettiest out right now, but in a month when all these leaves come in on the trees and bushes, this is going to be really nice. It's going to offer a lot of privacy, you know, a lot of space for all your stuff. They come with a picnic table. We do have 30 amp electricity. I think there's also a plug-in for 50 as well if you had a bigger rig. The only con to this site is where they put the fire pit. Normally they have the fire pit out front on the passenger side. On this side it's kind of tucked in back here off to the side. It's kind of in a weird spot. We're not really doing campfires on this trip. It's been kind of cold and rainy, but if we did, it'd be kind of a weird spot for the fire pit. Otherwise you got electric on the driver's side. All around, though, a really nice site. Do you like it here? Yeah, it's a good site. The main campground has 93 sites set on 5 different loops. 31 of those sites are electric, but no water hookups. They say that the max length of your truck and trailer combo must be under 60 feet. But if you find the right site, you can make this park work with a big rig. All right, we buzzed over to one of the non-electrical loops, and these sites are awesome. You can see they're all huge. Tons of room in between each site. Lots of privacy. Really nice sites. And you know, sometimes in the state parks, these non-electric sites are a lot bigger, a lot nicer than the electric ones, but here at Wild River, the electric ones, they're pretty comparable to the non-electric. This is kind of unique. I don't see this a lot in other state parks. This is what's called a double site. Most sites allow 6 people and 1 tent trailer or travel trailer and a tent, but that's it. But these double sites offer 4 camping units and up to 12 people. And here, this is one of 2 pull-through sites that they have. Both pull-through sites are in non-electric loops. This is Old Logger Trail, and this runs from the campgrounds up to the main office area. It's a little over a mile long, I think, and it's what they call a mixed use trail. So obviously for walking, they allow biking, and as far as I can tell looking at the map, it might be the only trail where you can take a mountain bike on. But I'm gonna stop by the front office, and if there's somebody around, I'm gonna ask if there's somewhere else we can take the mountain bike out. This is the front office right at the entrance where you can check in, get firewood, get a permit, ask questions, that sort of thing. They are still operating under COVID regulations, so the building itself isn't open, but they do have a check-in window where you can talk to a ranger. Looks like they are around on the weekends. I don't know what their schedule is like during the week, but like I said, you can get firewood here and check out all the different maps, kind of general front office type stuff. Talk about pricing really quick. So these are what state park rates are like in Minnesota. Drive-in electric $35. You can get a non-electric for $25, backpack for $23, some other options as well. If you want to just come for the day, you can get a one-day permit for $7. The year-round permits are $35, and that gets you access into any of the state parks in the whole state. Okay, I just checked in with the front office, and nope, there are no off-road trails that allow mountain bikes. So that's all right. There's plenty of places to bike. I got the shared path here and then the main roads, so it's all good. Okay, so even if we weren't able to find some dedicated mountain bike trails, we were still able to get in a 6-mile ride, just putzing around the park on the paved trails and main roads. So not bad. All right, we're gonna check in with the wife, maybe get some lunch, and then we're gonna go check out the hiking trails. So we're having a problem with our DVD unit here. It just won't power on. It was working our last trip, and I don't know what's going on. So just going through the steps to troubleshoot it. I took it out, I checked, there's a fuse in back, that's good. All the wiring looks like it's intact. Check the main breaker panel, everything's good there. So then I went and checked the owner's manual. Grand Design actually has a really good in-depth owner's manual, but there's nothing specific about the DVD unit. So then I went, there's a manual for every specific appliance and thing in the camper, except there's not one for the DVD player. So then I went to Facebook. Forums are awesome places to figure out these little problems. Went there. No real good answers there. And then I went online and downloaded the manual for this Jensen DVD unit, and their troubleshooting steps are kind of the same thing that I've done already. So I don't know what else to do. We're kind of dead in the water with a DVD player, and it doesn't bother us so much, but being that we rent this out, something we got to get taken care of probably sooner rather than later. In a previous video, I compared Minnesota state parks to some other out-of-state parks, and I said Minnesota needs to step up their infrastructure a little bit. But one thing Minnesota does really well is hiking. No matter what state park you go to, there's going to be a good variety of hiking trails, and you'll find miles of opportunities to go on a good hike. So I think what we're gonna do here, we're up here at the main campground, we're gonna take this path, should bring us along the river for about a mile, get some nice views of the St. Croix, and then I think we'll probably come up by the visitor center and maybe take the paved path back to the campsite. Should give us about a 2.5 mile hike. All right, dog, you ready? All right, let's go. just stumbled across this, a vanished forest. Exhibit begins here. My wife gives me a hard time because I'm kind of a history nerd and I cannot pass up a sign. I like to read everything. So this looks like it's pretty interesting. So it looks like it's just kind of going through the history, probably talking about how the logging companies came in and changed the landscape, and how the state parks are coming back and trying to restore the natural habitat. I've seen similar displays like this in other parks. This one looks like it's pretty well done though, with a lot of neat little displays and exhibits, a lot of information, and just well laid out with this nice little path that goes through the forest. Yeah, this is kind of cool. So this is the trail building, and technically it's closed because of COVID, but the bathrooms are open, and I was able to talk to an employee who is in there working. And so this is a place that you can actually rent out. I guess they do a lot of weddings and family reunions and parties here, but it's also kind of a place to get together and kind of plan your hiking route for the day, that sort of thing. And this park is pretty popular in the winter. There's actually a place in here that they rent out snowshoes, cross-country skis. In the summer, sometimes they have a vendor that comes in and rents out canoes. But they have concessions. They got pastries and coffee and popcorn, that kind of thing. Kind of a cool little place. They do have a visitor center, but I don't think it's going to be open. We're going to go take a look though. So the visitor center is partially open, I think mainly for the bathrooms, but there are some displays that you can look at and read, and they have some decking here that has a really good view of the river valley. Good place to come and have some lunch. But the other half of the building is closed. It looks like this is where they would have activities and additional displays. All right, so a summary of Wild River State Park. I would give this a solid 8 out of 10. Number one, it's not too far from the Minneapolis-St. Paul metro area. It's less than an hour to drive. And it's got a lot of different camping options. It has the electric sites, it has rustic non-electric, it has the group camping, there's a horse camp, they got the camper cabins, and they even have a guest house that you can rent. So a lot of options. Hiking here is amazing, a really good variety of hiking options. They got a couple buildings to explore when they're open. You got the trail center, you got the visitor center. There's just a lot to do here. Kind of the only things that it doesn't have, it doesn't have any place to off-road bike. There is no swimming beach if you got kids, and we didn't see any playground area too for the kids. Normally we don't do a lot of repeats when it comes to state parks, as we're on that goal to camp or visit all the state parks in Minnesota, but this is one I could see us coming back to, being that there's a lot to do here and it's close, and we just really like it. So Wild River, 8 out of 10.